Hi and welcome back to our channel. This is Mal, and on this video I'm going to show you how I make one of my favorite comfort meals. It is pork chops and mashed potato. I served it with some sauerkraut and peas and gravy. If it sounds like something you'd like, stay tuned and watch along. So here are the ingredients I used for my pork chop comfort food meal, dinner, whatever you want to call it. We have some pork chops which I've washed and dried. Please wash your meat, people. Really wash your meat. I've also got some washed and peeled potatoes to make some mashed potatoes, ground cayenne pepper, some paprika, brown gravy, peas to serve on the side, garlic plus seasoning, pepper, all-purpose flour, garlic powder, salt, and oregano. And that's pretty much all you need. Oh, not shown is some oil and some butter for frying the pork chops, and also some milk to make the mashed potatoes. Let's get started. So now I'm just going to add some salt to the water before boiling the potatoes. Add as little as much as you want. You can taste if you want. I apologize, I don't have any measurements. I'll get better at tracking how much salt I add. So here we have the seasonings for our pork chops. Feel free to add whatever seasonings you like. We have some all-purpose flour, cayenne pepper, oregano. We have some paprika, some garlic powder, some garlic plus seasoning which has some dehydrated onions and peppers in there as well. And then we have some freshly ground pepper, and then lastly we have some salt. Once everything is measured out, you can mix. As you can see, I'm getting quite excited mixing all of that up. At this point, you can taste to ensure that you have enough salt and spice. Now we are ready to season our pork chops. I've just added some freshly ground pepper and some salt. Then I'm going to add some of my garlic plus seasoning. So I'm just going to make sure that it's somewhat evenly coated. And then I'm going to flip and season the other side exactly the same way. Salt, freshly ground pepper, and some garlic plus seasoning. Now we are ready to dredge the pork chops in this seasoned flour mixture. Make sure you're coating it evenly and get all sides nice and covered in the flour. I don't use a egg wash. I find that the seasoned flour is more than enough. So go ahead and coat all sides, and let's move on to the next step. Once all of your chops have been evenly coated with the seasoned flour mixture, they are ready to be fried up. So let's take a look at that. Okay, firstly, I feel the need to say this. Please don't judge my crusty pan. This pan I've had for like over 10 years, and it's my favorite pan ever. Yes, I do have a new pan, but it doesn't cook as well as this one, okay? So please, let me be. Leave me alone with my crusty old pan. I love it, and it makes the food taste better. Anyway, let me know down in the comments if you have an old crusty pan too. Anyway, here I'm just heating some oil and butter. Wow, look at these babies just sizzling away. It's starting to smell really amazing in here. Once your oil and butter have melted, you can put your pork chops in the pan. And be sure not to touch them or move them around for like 5 minutes. This will ensure that they develop this nice, crunchy, golden crust on the outside. So just let them sizzle away and enjoy the smell and enjoy the sound of the sizzle, and it'll be worth it, I promise. While the pork chops are sizzling away, I'm going to continue with the mashed potatoes. I added a dollop of butter and I'm just gonna mash it up. If you have any stress or you're feeling frustrated at all, take it out on these potatoes, okay? It's therapy, it works. Just mash the heck out of them and you'll get nice smooth mashed potatoes in the process. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of milk to help get it loose and smooth, and then continue mixing really well until I get a nice smooth consistency, something like this. It's really smooth, guys. It may not look like it right now, but it's not lumpy at all. So yeah, that's it. I'm just gonna set it aside for now while the pork chops are cooking away. So it's been about 5 or 6 minutes and look at the nice golden brown crust on these pork chops. They look and smell amazing, and that's the color you want, okay? So make sure you flip them, and then we're gonna leave them in the pan for another 8 to 10 minutes depending on the thickness of your pork chops. Also make sure that your oil is not too hot because you don't want it to burn right before it cooks all the way through. So it's been about 8 minutes and our pork chops are done. We'll just look at that amazing color. It smells so good. That golden crust, that's exactly what you want. Be sure to check the temperature and make sure it's cooked through. I just have the peas and the mashed potato and I'm just about ready to serve it up. So stay tuned as I plate it all up. So now I have it all plated up. The mashed potato, the pork chop, the peas, and I've also added some sauerkraut onto the pork chop. If you don't know what that is, it's kind of just like a pickled cabbage. So now it's time to add the gravy. Just gonna pour it all over. Oh, get it all saucy. Add as much or as little as you want. Oh, and it looks like I added a little bit too much. But you know what? Could you ever really have too much sauce? I think not. Anyway, let's add some garnishings. I'm going to add some chopped green onion. You could also add some chopped chives or parsley or whatever fresh herbs you like. It doesn't really matter. And yeah, sprinkle that all over and there we have it. Voila! We have the finished meal. This meal is so good and comforting and just hits all the spots. If you're watching your waistline, it may not be the best meal to cook, but I promise it's so good, it's so delicious and filling and comforting. I make this meal at least twice a month because my kids absolutely love it and they always ask for it. So if you want something super comforting, definitely give it a try. Thank you for sticking around and cooking with me. I hope you enjoyed following along. Bye for now.